Yeah, I think continuing the progress, right? That's essentially what President Biden has been campaigning on, right? Finishing the job. There's been record job creation. There's so much effort to close the racial wealth gap. So many, so many issues that this president has been able to be successful on. It's really actually kind of incredible, to see how quietly he's been able to make this progress. And unfortunately, what he needs to do is really communicate more of the progress that this country's made coming out of this recession, or at least out of the pandemic, et cetera. More communication on the accomplishments that have actually happened all across the country.
And even with those accomplishments, we'll come back to the poll numbers that show that he's trailing former President Trump.
You could at least say this is an improvement on his outreach to black voters made years ago when he asked, "What the hell have you got to lose?" But I think a lot of folks have already spoken out about this, and whether or not you feel like it's maybe has some racist undertones, maybe if you see black voters only seeing the criminal justice system as the first and foremost issue that they're concerned about, I would say that black voters are as sophisticated as any other voters, and they are concerned about a whole range of issues. And I think we've seen over the course of the last several years in this presidency, really President Biden speaking out and making progress on a whole range of issues that matter to black voters.
Even with all of that, President Biden is still trailing former President Trump in the latest poll by 4 points. Why?
Why? Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, I think a number of things contribute to it. One of the biggest ones is what I mentioned earlier. President Biden is really set to the work of actually improving this country, pulling us out of a pandemic, working on a myriad of big issues, and not really done one of the things that we oftentimes see Democrats do, which is putting their head down, doing the work, and not talking a whole lot about it. He definitely has to get out there and communicate to voters on the myriad of issues that he has really produced.
It's just the message. It's just that he hasn't said it
I don't think
loudly
it's just the
enough
message.
and often enough.
I don't say it's just the message. I think that not only saying it, but then showing through surrogacy, through his own active campaigning. I think, again, when you're in the presidency, you think because you're on television or you're cutting ribbons, et cetera, that folks are getting the message directly. I don't think they are, or I don't think they have the same vibration they need to. And I think today will be a great testament to that point with both the former president and President Biden here in Georgia to see exactly what kind of crowds they draw, what kind of excitement they can bring. I just say the State of the Union, we really saw an energetic Biden. If he can keep that same energy, as the young people like to say, I think people will respond to it.
All right, Howard Franklin, Camila Moore.